Hello and welcome. My name is Samantha Francis, FemmePOWER educator and your favorite, hopefully, no nonsense mentor. So today I want to talk about something that actually is really common when it comes to self-development, and is something that I've seen so often, and actually something that I have experienced myself. So I'm going to say something and you're most probably not going to know what I'm talking about, but it's going to be one question, okay? And if you do know what I'm talking about, then kudos to you, well done. It shows that you've been doing self-development. So my question would be, what is your silent message? Now, when I say that to people, 9 times out of 10, they have no idea what I am speaking about. Also, by the way, if you are new to my videos, you'll notice I rock a lot. I'm just one of these people that needs to move when I speak or do anything. So yeah, that's why I'm rocking the chair. But anyway, back to the silent message. So they don't tend to know what it is that I'm speaking about. So this is something, like I said, I get a lot of questions about, well, what do you mean silent message? Like, what is that? So if I can put it as simply as I possibly can in a very short space of time, because I don't want to take up too much of your time today, it is basically a way of asking, what is your intention? So if I give you a really common example, like when people want to change, they're coming from one of two directions. They're coming from group A, that is wanting to get away from a problem, or they're coming from the group B camp where they're going towards a desire. Now, some people find it very difficult to understand what the difference actually is, but there is a big difference in that in terms of frequency and the silent message behind the actions. So let's say, for example, you're in a really bad relationship and you want to you need this new, you're looking for a new property to move out and everything, and you just need this to go through. Like, there's desperation there. And by the way, when I use the word desperation, I'm not saying that in a very disrespectful way at all. Like, we all have points in life where we are desperate for stuff, right? But let's just say that's what you're looking at. And it's like this push energy. It's like, I need it, I'm desperate for this, this has to happen. And when I say to the client, why, it's because, well, I have to get out of this. I have to get out of this relationship. And again, there's no judgment whether you're in camp A or camp B, by the way, okay? Just a bit of a disclaimer. But the problem with it is that when we're running away from something, or we're moving away from something, what the actual silent message is the problem. Your silent message is the problem, because that's where the focus is. The focus is the problem, and that's why you need the new house, if that makes sense. Okay, so stay with me if it doesn't. I'm sure it will by the end of this video. So we don't want the focus to be the problem. We want the focus to be the desire, right? So if we flip this now to the people in group B, it would be, yeah, I really want to get this house. Why? Because, I'd love to have this clean, brand new energy of a new home. I'd love a garden with this home. It feels really good. It feels like, all the things there. So you can see that they're in desire. They're not, the first thing out of their mouth is not, well, I need to get the hell out of this situation, out of this relationship, and I need this property and I need it now. And again, don't get me wrong, there are situations in life where you are desperately needing to get away from something. I get it. However, if we bring awareness to our silent message, then that is where we will get things quicker and things will shift quicker. So if we're in a bad situation, or a situation that just does not feel good for us, and we are making all of our moves based on getting away from that situation, what we're actually doing is we're carrying that horrible situation and the frequency and the energy of that with us. So it doesn't feel good. Whereas if we are holding the space and the awareness of, actually, I want to come from a space of desire, we would then go and ask, okay, well, how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? How would I feel in this new house? I feel great. It's spacious. It's bright. It feels good for my soul. It's got a garden. I can go out there and sunbathe if I want. you know, I can do all these things, you know, and that would feel good for me. And the rent feels really great, or I can afford it. And, you know, all of these things feel juicy. They feel like desire more so than I need to get away. I can't deal with this anymore. Like that situation is just too much for me. No, I need to have this and I need to have it now. If you notice the difference, even the way I was speaking about it, it's in a much more relaxed, enjoyable tone, as opposed to when I'm speaking about getting away from something, which feels fast, it feels heavy, it feels pushed, it doesn't feel good. So often what I hear from clients as well, when they're first understanding what the silent message or the silent story is they will say to me, well, you know, if I just, what if I say it in a really positive tone, or what if I, you know, what if I change my language or whatever? And listen, you know, the words we use have an impact, but overall your frequency is what dictates you know, is predominant basically. So you can say things in a certain way, you can tweak the language all you want, but if deep down you know that you are hating where you are at right now and you are desperate to get away, then that is what's essentially playing out, not the surface level stuff where you're changing your language. Yes, that can help, but the predominant energy will always be how you really feel. So how do we overcome this? Like, what if you're in a situation that just does not feel good? Well, what I often tell my clients is find as much joy or pleasure. It sounds really basic, and actually, a lot of the time, that the things that will get us the biggest changes are the most basic things. What are the things that you can bring into your world right now, or see or feel in your world right now that feels good? And that can be pretty hard when actually you're really unhappy, because your lens is going to then be fixated on all the things that doesn't feel good for you. But we have to train our brains, especially if we're in a situation that we want to move away from. It's like, okay, right, I'm in this situation right now. How can I feel just a little bit better being in this situation right now? Like, look around me right now. What do I have that maybe I haven't been noticing? What richness do I have in my world? Where if I take my focus off of that area of my life that's not going well, what richness can I see around me as well? Because we've got to train our inner lens to see and be okay with where we are right now. And that helps us step up into desire. It's like an emotional scale. You can't go from feeling angry or depressed or, you know, those kind of emotions to jumping up and being, yes, I'm so grateful and I'm filled with gratitude and I'm happy and everything's going, you know, you can't. It's a process for so many people. So it's like bringing awareness, shifting that lens and saying, okay, what actually, if I just park that area of my life to one side, what actually is good in my world right now? Maybe it's my children, maybe it's my pet. Maybe it's the fact that I've got money for rent. Maybe it's the friend that sent me a silly message after her date the other night that made me laugh. You know, it can be the simplest of things. Write them down, record them, record an audio, do whatever feels right for you to log it. Because the more evidence your brain can hold in terms of what feels good for you and what makes you feel rich and what makes you feel good, the more of that frequency it develops, and the more you place that frequency out there, and before you know it, you're stepping into a space of running from something and instead flowing towards your desire. So that's what the silent message is. And, you know, like I say, it's something that I ask my clients a lot, because obviously when you're speaking to me, you're telling me words, you're saying all of these things, and that's great. But my zone of genius is feeling you and actually seeing what's behind all of that. And if I'm feeling and seeing differently, we've got work to do, because the silent message needs to change. And often, you know, it's with clients that actually are stuck and they're saying, look, I'm doing all the things, I'm saying all of this, da, 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 but I'm nothing's moving, I'm still stuck, I'm still in this horrible relationship, I'm still going through this, da, 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 da. We look at the silent message. Well, it's because the silent message you're essentially coming from is from a space of pain and wanting to get away from that particular situation. So it's little tweaks that we can take that shift us from running away or desperate to get away into going into desire, and before you know it, stepping into holding, physically holding and being and receiving what it is you want. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, just send me a message, get in contact via Facebook or my website. I'm always happy to answer questions, but hopefully that helps you. So if you are feeling stuck today, if you've been thinking, look, I'm still here, I hate this right now, I just want to get away. Hopefully this video will help you understand why maybe you are still stuck. Because remember, not everything is strategy, not everything is energy. It needs a balance of both. So we would look at your actions, but we're also primarily we got to look at your energy as well, and tweak that as well. But hopefully this gives you some tips in terms of tweaking your energy and your frequency. And again, if you have any questions, you know where I'm at. Right? Take care. Bye-bye.